Here are 7 bad habits that kill engines. This list isn't exhaustive, but if you're guilty of one or even worse, a combination of these habits, I'm sure the engine in your car is not going to last as long as it's designed to. Now let's get this. The first is the most basic, and it's your oil change practice. Motor oil lubricates, cools and prevents corrosion. It also cleans engine components by trapping dirt and carbon buildup particles and sending those to your oil filter. Delayed or irregular oil changes or use of the incorrect oil for the engine will only increase the risk of sludge and engine wear, and so this is a very basic thing you want to get right. Second is ignoring a check engine light, and this can be really bad if what set off the check engine light is a timing related code. This will include DTCs from variable valve timing, camshaft or crankshaft codes. Timing codes are particularly bad because in layman's terms, the engine is struggling with knowing when to move the different metallic parts of the engine in relation to each other. As you can imagine, that can only result to catastrophe if such codes are left unchecked. It's also bad when what you have is a flashing check engine light. This simply tells you that the car is misfiring heavily and dumping raw fuel into the catalytic converter. If your check engine light is flashing, you simply need to stop the car as soon as it's safe to do so and have that issue sorted out. The third habit is ignoring metallic engine noise. While this is somewhat related to my earlier point about timing related codes, it's also possible for you to have metallic engine noise without the check engine light coming on. A defective timing chain tensioner, VTC actuator or cam phaser are examples of defects that can cause metallic noise, especially cold start rattles, and yet not give you a check engine light. This is just going to lead to progressive engine wear over time, and that's not good. In fourth place, we have not keeping tabs on when to change your timing belt, and this is the one reason why I prefer cars with timing chains. Timing belts typically need to be replaced anywhere from 60,000 to 100,000 miles, depending on the manufacturer's recommendation. If they don't get replaced, they will eventually snap while the car is in operation, and if you have what's called an interference engine, which is where the pistons and valves share the same space but at different times in the combustion cycle, those two parts are simply going to smash into each other, and great will the damage be. Going back to the basics, the fifth habit is skipping on some items that should be regular preventive maintenance, such as replacing the engine air cleaner or filter, as well as the PCV valve and so on. A clogged air filter or PCV valve is going to lead to suboptimal combustion in the engine. This will in turn cause increased carbon buildup, and the increased carbon buildup is going to lead to more engine wear by two mechanisms: direct friction on the cylinder walls, and if it accumulates enough, it's going to cause pre-detonation, which is where the combustion mixture ignites due to higher pressures, and this occurs while the piston is still on its upward stroke. This ends up causing a lot of shock to the piston and other components and can be damaging if left unattended. Number 6 is a leaking cooling system or the use of water as coolant. Aside from making cooling system components work harder and increased corrosion buildup, there's also just that risk of forgetting to top off your cooling system and you're going to be facing overheating. My number 7 and the last is the use of cheap aftermarket parts on critical components. As a rule of thumb, I only do OEM parts on the emission system as well as some other components I judge vital. You need the reliability that OEMs bring, and in my experience, that money you think you're saving usually turns into a bigger hole in your wallet. That said, if you want to find out how to get genuine aftermarket parts that work as good as the OEM, check out this next video that I made. Thank you very much for watching. Catch you on the next one. Peace!